Hi, everybody. So, usually on the very last day of fall semester, right before we go to winter break, I like to give my students holiday cards. And in them, I write two messages. Thank you for being my student, because I'm very thankful that you're all my students and that fate brought us together in room 312. And I also write, please have a restful break, because I believe in breaks. We need to have rest to balance out work. And I wish you a great new year. In this case, it's going to be 2022, unbelievably. And I do that every single year. But then one year was different. That's my mom. And almost 4 years ago, she was diagnosed with endometrial cancer. And endometrial cancer um, it changed everything for us. So my first reaction was panic. That's a natural reaction. And it's the big C word, right? And I ran to the Google machine and I started typing up, what is endometrial cancer? And, what can we do? So what it is, it's when cells in the endometrium start to grow out of control. And these cancer cells, they start to crowd out the normal cells so that the body doesn't work the way it's supposed to work. And I found that most often, the people who are typically affected are women who are in their later ages, same age my mom was. About 200,000 women are diagnosed with this every year, so it's not a rare thing, but it definitely is something that is dangerous. So what can be done about it? Well, my mom had surgery. They caught it when she was stage 1, thankfully. And then she went through 6 weeks of radiation, and that's her on the radiation slab right there. At Huntington Hospital in Pasadena getting radiation treatment, she got 6 straight weeks of going every day except the weekends. And it wiped her out. The key with endometrial cancer, as the key is with so many diseases, is early detection. And luckily, there's a simple test that women can take to find out if they've got it or if they're at risk for it in some cases. You gotta be getting regular checkups. Despite all this that my mom was going through, and I knew she was in the best care that we could get for her, I felt really powerless, as a lot of people do who are living with family members that are affected by an illness. And I wasn't really sure what to do, and I couldn't get into into my mom's body and fight off the cancer cells, although I wished that I could. So I went looking online, and I went to the American Cancer Society's website, and that's where I found out about the color peach. So every cancer has a specific color that's associated with it that is used to create awareness about that specific kind of cancer. And for endometrial cancer, the color's peach. So that year, I started making these, and I've been making them ever since. I became like a DIY person who didn't know how to DIY anything, but I had to do something. I had to feel like I was doing something. And so I bought a bunch of peach colored ribbon and fasteners, and I started making these little ribbons that people could attach on to their shirts or to their coats or something. And I made a lot of them, and I decided that what I was going to do, instead of giving out holiday cards every year, I'd make one of these for every single one of my students. And I made them for you to give out today. That's a picture of my mom when she's walking out on the last day of her radiation treatment, and she got to walk out on 2 feet. I took her to get pancakes because she likes pumpkin pancakes that day, and it was in October. And I'll tell you, sometimes it feels like there's absolutely nothing that we can do. It feels like we're powerless. It feels like we're unable to affect anything. But just because it feels like there's nothing that we can do, it doesn't mean that there isn't something that we can do. So happy holidays, everybody. Have a wonderful break. Have a great 2022. And thank you so much for being my student. Have a great break.